Welcome to Fade or Fly with Mike and the Feather, your weekly football podcast recorded right here in the heart of Sin City. Join Mike and the Feather as they dive into the world of sports bet predictions, game analysis, and serve up a healthy dose of Vegas-style humor. Whether you're looking to ride the winning streak or soar to new heights in your football knowledge, this is the podcast for you. Let's embark on this gridiron adventure together from the entertainment capital of the world.
Ho, 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 wait, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're still in November.
Yeah, it's not ho, ho yet.
This set will be ho, ho, ho very soon, trust me. But it was ho, ho, ho for us this week here in the Fade or Fly studios. Had another great week. We want to say hello to all our subscribers, especially of those who joined us this past Thanksgiving, virtually, of course. We did our first live stream, 7.5 hours of live streaming football Thanksgiving morning. We did the Packers game. Congrats on that, by the way. The Cowboys game. And then after that, we had a big old Thanksgiving here. Did you enjoy yourself?
Oh, it was great. The day was phenomenal. It was a long day. By the time I got home, I just enjoyed going home, crawling into bed with the wife, and it was great. But, yeah, the food was great. The football was great. 7.5 hours. First live stream of my life, and I do 7.5 hours.
Honestly, the two things that amaze me, and I'm actually not joking. One, we're still in debate. We think maybe at most in 7.5 hours you flubbed one name, and it wasn't. But we're not going to say it. If you want to go find it, it's in the first hour or so of the podcast. It's still up there on the live streams, so check it out. But number two, dude, 7.5 hours stream never cut out. We had a constant interaction with our chat. It was small, but it was fun. Had 10 to 20 people watching throughout the whole day. Talked about betting, talked about poker. We even kind of live bet along with some of our fans. So that was an exciting time. The fact that it went off so well, it makes me excited for ones in the future. So I know we've been talking about it, potentially doing a few more nighttime games, maybe a Sunday night game soon. And so for that reason, of course, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel because we might just on a whim go live one Sunday night or Thursday night, and we want to make sure you guys are aware that's happening, and that's what will be a benefit there, as well as helping us out a little bit with the old YouTube algorithm.
You know that Packer-Lions game was the most watched early game on Thanksgiving history?
Really?
Something like 33 million or crazy number.
Did you happen to see any of the stats? Because we also had the world's first Black Friday football game, which was a stinker between the Dolphins and the Jets. Did that get the turnout?
I'm not sure.
Noon on a Friday?
It was weird.
Even if it's Black Friday, I mean, people are online on Amazon shopping more than I think they are.
Well, maybe that's what the Amazon
they were hoping
was doing because it was
for?
an Amazon game. So like, okay, watch the game, sit home, and online shop.
I didn't think about that. It was on Prime. That would make sense.
So maybe that's what their goal was. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, yes. Hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. Hope you guys found some great deals on Black Friday. Let my cohort wet his whistle for a second. And while we're doing that, let's go ahead and look at the results from last week. All right, so last Sunday got us another 5.8 units to the good, which is on top of the last weeks have actually been incredible. Quite the turnaround from kind of hanging in there during the early part of the season, getting ourselves even, and then going straight up from there. A little bit of a heater, and that's what we talk about. It's not so much where you start, it's where you finish.
Yeah, it's been a great ride lately. Since week 5, the stats we have from week 5 through week 12, we're 25, 18, and 1, 58% winning percentage overall, plus 33.8 units. 4-unit picks. This is a key one. 4-unit picks were 15 and 4 since week 5 for 79%. That's pretty much, it's about as good as it gets. 6-unit picks were 1 and 0 at 100%, of course. Just had one of those. So yeah, it's been a great ride since week 5.
And you can take that to the bank.
Like I said, week 2 and 3 were a little bit off. Outside of that, it's been good. It's been good.
And
we're
like
gonna keep going
there are
up.
definitely a few games where, and this is the sport, right? Sometimes that backdoor cover comes in. Sometimes someone drops a ball they should have caught. Sometimes somebody should just take a knee and they don't. And you can't always account for what goes through players' heads. They're not thinking about we assume they're not thinking about the over-unders and the spreads.
Right.
You can have your own theories on that. But yeah, it's been amazing.
Yeah, so it's been a great run since week 5. Now a little rundown Year to date, we're at for weeks 1 through 12. We are 34, 31, and 1, 53%, plus 17.8 units overall for the entire year, which is a great comeback considering we dug ourselves a pretty nice hole after week 3. Overall for the year, two unit picks, we're sitting at 16 and 24, 40%. That's not great. 3 unit picks, 1 and 1, 50%. 4 unit picks, 17 and 5 for 77.3%. So that's the big plays are hitting home, and they're hitting home the majority of the time by far. 5 unit plays, just had one of those. That was 0 and 1, and then the 1 6 unit Eagles play, 1 and 0. It's been a great ride. We're having a blast. I mean, it's just been a lot of fun, and we're going to keep working hard. We got a lot of season left, going until February to the Super Bowl. So, yeah, let's get it done. Exciting stuff.
I really thought for a second there you said those stats are unheard of by Favre. I thought maybe you slipped into your Wisconsinian mindset about the mighty Brett Favre. You said 4 unit plays, and you're thinking number 4, Brett Favre. Maybe it's in the back. Your subconscious is there.
One of the all-time greats, Hall of Famer Brett Favre, of course, yes. Along with Aaron Rodgers, and maybe, perhaps, may I say, interesting comparison here. Year to date, Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love, at the same points in their career, have the same exact amount, down to the yard, of passing yards as in the first 11 games, and they have almost identical touchdowns and interceptions. So I'm not saying that there's a cause effect there, but I'm just saying could Green Bay have a third Hall of Famer on their hands?
It's early.
But right now, I know a lot of people. Thanksgiving Day was really great for me, extra special. Watching Jordan Love torch the freaking Detroit Lions. Now, here's a fun fact you didn't know. On Thanksgiving Day, it's tradition. The winning team and the best players on that team get turkey after the game. You remember the John Mann tradition. Every other game, they got the turkey. Green Bay, when Jordan Love came out there was no turkey. He said, "Where's the turkey?" And they kind of downplayed it. The reason why there was no turkey on Thanksgiving for the Packer game for Jordan Love and the guys to eat was because the chef branded Detroit Lions logo into the turkey. Therefore, it was unusable because a little bit pre-excitement, I guess, obviously.
I mean, I guess you have to cook it into the turkey so it's there so the logo shows up. But you would think it was almost like, with the Super Bowl, they print T-shirts for both sides of the game, so whoever wins. That's got to cost way more money than getting a second turkey and putting the logo in that one too. And then if not, you go give it to the homeless outside or something useful.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it was a PR nightmare because in the end, the chef or whoever, they decided to, I don't know if it was during the cooking process, but they branded the Detroit Lions logo into the turkey where it could not be used, obviously, because they would look like idiots presenting that to the Packers.
We probably know who the chef bet on then.
I'm going to guess it was a pro Lions chef, but that made me happy. Detroit went away again, now 7 in a row, lost on Thanksgiving, and once again, they thought they turned the corner against the Packers, and they have not.
All right, I also want to mention that today is Jason the Feather's birthday. Happy birthday, buddy. We're here recording on his birthday.
Thanks, buddy.
And he said for his birthday, all he wants to be is 100% on his picks this week. So I should get you a candle so you can make a wish, but let's go ahead and take a look-see. Your first game you've chosen is 1 p.m. Eastern time this Sunday. It is the 2-10 Arizona Cardinals at the 7-4 Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are presently a 5-point favorite at home.
Yeah, Kyler Murray's back. He's 1-2 since his return from his long knee injury. Cardinals got whipped last week by the Rams. The Rams absolutely took them to the woodshed. Cardinals ranked 30th in total yards allowed, 31st in rushing yards allowed, and 31st in giving up the most points allowed. So that's not good. As far as Pittsburgh goes, this is a team that has grinded all year long, figuring out a way to win games, even though they usually don't have more yards, and they are behind in every statistical category, but yet they somehow come out on top for the victory, which is all that matters. A good part of that problem was Matt Canada, offense coordinator for Pittsburgh. He is now fired and gone. And ironically, after he got fired last week, Pittsburgh goes off for over 400 yards total offense. Imagine that. Steelers got their two-headed monster running really good. Najee Harris and Jaden Warren, they are running great. And that is a combo that is going to be huge this week against the Arizona Cardinals. I believe they're going to rush for somewhere combined between 175 to 200 yards total, most likely 2 touchdowns. I just don't see any way this Cardinals team can run with the Steelers. The Steelers' offense has been stagnant. I think that will change this week. The important part is that they are at home. Pittsburgh is an entirely different team at home than they're on the road, and Arizona definitely is. Arizona on the road is about as bad as it gets in general for the last X amount of years. The return of tight end Pat Freedmuth of Pittsburgh is huge. He was on the IR for quite a while, and he's a staple that they need right now because Kenny Pickett has had his woes. The guy is struggling. He's trying to find his footing. Maybe then with the firing of the offensive coordinator, he's going to get back on track. He looked a little better last week. But to have a tight end like that on the team to basically, bring stability and someone that can consistently get the ball to, in those short plays is very important. And I think it's going to be key going forward. Pittsburgh at 7-4. They're obviously right in the thick of things in the playoff hunt. And I think they're going to get it done this week. I think there's just no way, a lot of people are thinking Pittsburgh getting a 5-point spread favorite. They're not exactly known for putting up a lot of points and covering spreads. But against this Arizona team that I believe is not exactly trying to win football games, I think that maybe they're going to try to go after Marvin Harrison Jr., wide receiver, Ohio State. So therefore, what their motivation is, if they want to win football games or not, I question that a little bit. But I do know that Pittsburgh at home, I'm going to take them all day with TJ Watt in that defense. So we're going to go Pittsburgh -5 for 2 units. Boom.
Okay, pick number 2 for Week 13. We have the 6-5 Denver Broncos, who are on fire, led by Don's favorite quarterback, Russell Wilson, at the 6-5 Houston Texans, coming off a loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Texans are 3.5-point favorites at home in this one.
Yep, it's a big game. Houston, they've been on fire. I mean, they literally they fell short last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but they played great. CJ Stroud, he's been outstanding. I mean, he's far exceeding expectation. He's a lock for probably Rookie of the Year. Wide receiver Tank Dell has been a huge surprise, and he's been outstanding. 47 receptions, 709 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's great at stretching the field, and C.J. Stroud and him have been a great combo, along with Nico Collins. Now, on the other side, though, the Texans are in some trouble in the injury department. They just lost – they're decimated on the offensive line, and they just lost their right tackle, Titus Howard, last week. He's now in the IR as well. So this team has had the injury bug on both sides of the ball. And that's going to be the key in this game, because without the right tackle, I just don't see a path that the Broncos defense, which has been reincarnated. I mean, not that long ago, we were talking about how the Miami Dolphins hung 70 points. 70. It's not a basketball game. 70 points on the Broncos. And now all of a sudden the Broncos, the last, 5 weeks, have become a top 5 or 10 defense easily. They're only giving up 16 points a game the last 5 games. They're on a 5-0 winning streak, 5-game winning streak. Sean Payton's doing it. Russell Wilson, this team is buying into what he's selling, and they're working it and they're grinding. And all I can say is Denver's making me a believer. I mean, they're finding a way with this offense and this defense to get it done. They're nitty, they're gritty, and they're going to do it again. I just don't see a path at the Texans, who's decimated, with injuries, definitely in the defense side of the ball, and now losing their right tackle. A rookie quarterback, it's a tough go in the NFL, but you got to have your tackles. That's very important. And losing yet another lineman is definitely not the right recipe for success. So that being said, the Broncos, 6-5, they're going to go 7-5 after this game. Broncos plus 3.5, 2 units, take it to the bank. Boom.
Okay, trivia time before going to the next pick.
Okay.
What does the CJ and CJ Stroud stand for? I'll be very impressed if you know.
Carl Jr.
Are you hungry? Are you thinking about
Yeah,
a
probably.
sandwich right now?
I mean,
Is that-
I have been fasted now for 43 hours or so, give or take.
We've had water.
But
I know
water
doesn't
is
count. I know. It stands for Coleridge Bernard. Coleridge Bernard. You want what's even more fascinating? He's the fourth one. It's actually Coleridge Bernard Stroud the fourth. That's a very unique name to me, at least.
Wait, where's the J come from?
You tell me. It says Coleridge Bernard C.J. Stroud. I don't know. Well, that'll be trivia for next week. If you know the answer, put that in the
Where's the J
comments
come
down
from
below.
in C.J. Stroud?
But here you go. Since it's your birthday, how does this make you feel? Potential Rookie of the Year quarterback C.J. Stroud, born in 2001. Yeah, exactly. The look says it all.
It means I'm old.
Hey, it's from Rancho Cucamonga. Our good friend Anthony is from there. Shout out to Anthony.
And
Rancho Cucamonga.
say that 3 times.
I'm not going to try. Let's go to the third one. 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time this Sunday. The San Francisco 49ers at 8-3 at the Philadelphia Eagles, who are an astounding 10-1, coming off of an overtime win against the Bills, which I might add. You covered the spread on that one, taking the Bills 3.5. It's huge how those half points can work in your favor sometimes, but excellent pick there. The 49ers, though, on the road are 2.5-point favorites at Philly's own Eagles. What do you think?
This is going to maybe be the game of the year. It's definitely the game of the week. 49ers, Eagles, revenge factor going on here. I mean, you're looking at this Niner team that was rolling last year, and then Purdy goes down in injury, and they didn't even have they didn't have a quarterback to finish the game. So Purdy had to go out and quarterback without the ability to throw. He literally had a handoff. That did not probably sit well with anybody in that organization, and they are hungry and ready to get back after it. This is going to be a game of the ages. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, get your popcorn, get ready to watch it. The Eagles have been going to war the last 2 weeks. They came out with big wins, beating the Kansas City Chiefs. Then they went to battle the next week in inclement weather and pulled it off against the Buffalo Bills at the very last second. And, yeah, I mean, what else is there to say about these teams other than the Eagles continue to excel, but they're not playing quite like they were last year. Most people do not look at them as the dominant juggernaut offensively that they've been in the past. So that being said, what's going to happen in this game? And San Francisco is healthy. They picked up Chase Young at the trade deadline to add to this already defensive juggernaut. You got Christian McCaffrey that basically is a cheat code on offense. And Brock Purdy's healthy. Deebo Samuel's healthy. I just don't see a path in this case with this team, how they're playing. And the Eagles have been having to battle in the trenches the last couple weeks. So I think that they're tired. They're a little bit banged up. And frankly, they have a huge game next week again against Dallas. And that's going to be for the division. So I think that there's going to be a little bit of a letdown potentially here. I think the Eagles may lose this one. After the Eagles get by Dallas next week, then their next games are the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and they have to play the Ham and Egger Giants twice.
So they're going to go 2-2. They're going to split those, basically, you're saying, or am I imagining?
Tommy DeVito
is the answer.
Tommy DeVito is going to need to just get a stay-home note from his mom so he doesn't have to show up and get the brakes beat off of him, because that's what's going to happen.
We'll see.
So,
hey, I like those end-of-the-season games that might not matter much, that maybe they get a little bit lax. Although, I got to ask, why are the Giants winning?
They even mess up getting top draft picks.
They do. But go ahead. So you're thinking, I'm guessing what you're leaning towards
So
here.
basically, the way this stands, I'm loving the Niners. We're going to go with the 49ers. It's a tough game, but the Niners are just going to be better in this one. They're better on defense. They're hungry. And I just feel like this is a letdown game with Dallas next week. I think Eagles fans, don't worry. I'm sorry. You're going to lose this week. No big deal. You're going to turn around. You're going to beat the Cowboys next week. And then all will be well when you win out against the Giants and the other scrub, bird teams. So bottom line, don't worry, Eagle fans, you'll be fine. But for this week, it's not going to be pretty. The San Francisco 49ers are going to beat the brakes off you. Double-digit victory for the Niners. Sorry, it is what it is. I'm taking the Niners minus 2.5, 4 units, beating the brakes off of the Eagles. You guys had a great run. You're 10-1. You'll be 10-2. Don't worry. You'll probably win out after that. But for right now, there's no fly, Eagles, fly. It's Niners all day long. Boom.
Also, you missed a golden opportunity. You said it's not going to be pretty. You should have said it's not going to be
purdy.
Thank you. You're learning. Pick number 4. 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time, Sunday night game. The 8-3 Kansas City Chiefs at the Thanksgiving champion who did not get a turkey, Green Bay Packers, sitting at 5-6. The Chiefs are 6.5-point favorites on the road at Lambeau Field.
Isn't everyone wondering what I'm going to do here? Everyone is exciting. They want to know.
I'm putting a clip of Homer in right now, so you know.
Let's break this down right now. The Packers offense is giving up 200 yards passing offense per game, which is great. They've only allowed 12 passing touchdowns in 11 games. Of those 11 games, 6 of those 12 touchdowns were given up against 3 games and 3 teams, the Vikings, the Chargers, and the Lions, one of which was a scrub touchdown at the very end of the game in Detroit last week when it didn't matter. That means that of the other 8 games, Green Bay's only given up 6 passing touchdowns in the prior 8 games. All this spells out doom for the Kansas City Chiefs. Because bottom line, that passing receiving core for Kansas City is about as remedial and pathetic as it gets. Will they someday, they're young, will they someday get better? Maybe. But right now, they're terrible. They drop more balls than any other wide receiving core in the NFL. Patrick Mahomes is doing good things. I mean, he's getting the ball to him a lot of times. They're dropping it. He can only do so much. Travis Kelce, he doesn't have the energy this year. I feel like he's on his way out. He's not the same. He's beat up. He's in love. And I just don't think he's moving with the same vigor that he has in the past. That being said, the weather, it's going to be at Lambeau Field, Sunday Night Football. The Green Bay Packers and Matt LaFleur, 15-0 in the month of December. 15-0. Undefeated in the month of December in games. What does that spell out? That spells out, take the Green Bay Packers all day long.
Dun, 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 dun. Go, Pack, go!
Plus 6.5. I love the points. There's no way Kansas City's covering this game, okay? I do believe that this could be one of my upset alerts. I do see a path that Green Bay wins this game. I want to know more about Jair Alexander if he's going to play. Aaron Jones most likely will be out. A.J. Dillon has a groin issue. He's been sitting out practice, but he should be good to go. So there's a couple variables in there, but Jair Alexander's been out quite a bit. It'd be nice to have him back, but that receiving core, I could defend those guys. So I'm not too worried about that. Green Bay, I believe, is going to upset, but take the 6.5, sit in your home, drink some hot cocoa and marshmallows, and know that your money is secure in the Green Bay Packers. We're going to go Green Bay plus 6.5 for 4 units. Get it done all day long. Jordan Love is the guy. He proved it last week. He's going to be the guy of the future. This team is young. They're dynamic. And guess what? They're playoff bound. Boom.
The Cincinnati Bengals sitting at 5-6 versus the Jacksonville Jaguars sitting at 8-3. Jacksonville has over a touchdown spread here, -8. Monday Night Football, where the magic happens.
They don't have a very tough act to follow because last week Monday Night Football, when it was the Bears versus the Vikings, was literally maybe the worst game in the history of the NFL. That game was so painful to watch that I'd rather be in a dentist chair getting a root canal.
You'd rather be at the 50-yard line at a Bears game.
Man, it was bad. It was bad. But now this is a big game. Unfortunately, this game's hype and shine is a little bit gone. You know, a month ago, this was a big game. Now, not so much. Joe Burrow's gone for the year. In comes rookie quarterback Jake Browning. You know, talented kid. He seemed like he last week came in pretty, ice water in his veins, but it's going to be a tall order for him on Monday Night Football. Go up against a Jacksonville team at home that is literally on fire. Jacksonville has won 7 of their last 8 games. Trevor Lawrence is on point. He's getting it done. He's running well. He's healthy. The Jaguars have one of the best wide receiving cores by far in the NFL. They have a great running back in Travis Etienne that he's great at catching balls. He's great at running. He's heading towards that 1,000-yard mark again this year. Jacksonville has struggled in the past in defense, lately. They struggled really bad against San Francisco, and they got whipped. Outside of that, they've been doing pretty solid, and I just don't see a path. This Bengals offense is talented. Joe Mixon's been okay this year. Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is still banged up. He might not play. So that being said, with this quarterback, I know people are like, how in the world is this line 8? Jacksonville by 8 against the Bengals? Well, all the difference in the world is the quarterback. Jake Browning, they're not expecting him to do much, and neither am I, because guess what? The Jacksonville Jaguars are going to absolutely take it to the Bengals this week. No doubt. It's going to be a 10 to 15 point victory for the Jags. We're going to take the Jags -8, 2 units. We're going to close out the week Monday Night Football, our first Monday Night Football pick of the week. We're going to close it out on a winner. We're going to go 5-0 this week, get it done, take it to the bank, back up the Brinks truck. Boom.
But you were going to say take it to the Bengals for a second, which is what obviously the Jaguars are going to do. All right, there you guys go. There's your 5 picks for Week 13. We got about a third of the NFL season left. Kind of sad. That's amazing. I mean, this has actually added to my enjoyment of the season, but I think it's also made time go faster because sometimes I'm not even thinking about football. I'm thinking about the podcast.
Oh, it's going fast. It's going, I can't believe it. Week 13, Thanksgiving's over. We'll be talking about Christmas pretty soon. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah, have you seen Christmas outside the door of the studio?
Oh, yeah, we are in Santa's studio right now. This is like Santa's, workshop. We're in it. It's all over the place.
I'll get some footage and do a visual tour for the official first episode of December of Fade or Fly.
It's pretty cool, guys. So, like always, we appreciate you guys tuning in and viewing us. Would definitely appreciate you to spread the word to all your friends and family members. Like, subscribe, all of it. We really appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you next week, and we'll talk about that Packers victory, baby. You heard it first. Go Pack, go. But until then, Mike and I, we appreciate you guys as always. And like always, take it to the bank. Boom.
Stay safe, guys. We'll see you soon.